In a crazy turn and twist of events, Deshaun Watson is being traded to the Cleveland Browns, according to Ian Rappaport and Schefter and everybody just about 2.5 minutes ago. Deshaun Watson gets a fully guaranteed 5-year, $230 million contract. That's $80 million more than the previous record for fully guaranteed money, signing $150 million. This deal was negotiated by, who cares? Look, this is absolute madness, craziness. The crazy offseason continues, and Deshaun Watson is now a member of the Cleveland Browns, pending all this stuff penciling out. This is absolutely crazy. The Cleveland Browns, thought to be completely out of the running for Deshaun Watson, stepped back in the 11th hour, proving that smoke season, no one's safe from the smoke. Nobody can escape the smoke. This is absolute craziness, and we got to break this down from a fantasy football perspective, because there are a lot of implications that are now on the table that we must discuss relating to all these players that now are affected from Deshaun Watson landing in Cleveland. Now, I will say, for the record, and I'm going to say this and it's going to upset some people, I still wanted it to be Atlanta. I know the Browns are a good now landing spot. I was very excited about Kyle Pitts and Watson and building around that. With the compensation that Matt Ryan would have got back in a trade, you could have built around that better for the long term. I'm just saying that right now. But let's talk about what is in front of us. It is what it is. He's in Cleveland. Let's talk about the ramifications. Let's talk about what this does for Amari Cooper, what it does for Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt in the running game, what it does for the defense, what it does for the Cleveland Browns, who are now a potential player in 2022. Now, let me also say this. The Browns might be a playoff contender. They might not be out the gate, because you have to keep in mind they still potentially might be looking at a 4 to 6 game suspension for Deshaun Watson for violating the league's personal conduct policy. He still could be looking at a 4 to 6 game suspension, meaning the Browns could start off really, really bad and have to work their way up and try and grab a playoff spot. And they still could do that. Like they could go 3-3. You know, they could make it to where this is a fairy tale type season where they go 3-3 because Watson is suspended for 4 to 6 games, and then they come back and make the playoffs and go on this magical run. That could happen. That could 100% happen. I'm not ruling out that the Cleveland Browns can do this in year one with Watson, but we have to find out, is the guy going to be suspended for 2022 for 4 to 6 games? We'll find out. But wow, what a crazy turn of events. Deshaun Watson heading to the Cleveland Browns. And let me see if I can get more information from Schefter and pull it up here. This is absolute madness. Now, we'll find out what changed, Gary. We don't truly know what ended up happening. Was it money? Was it that did Watson feel they were more committed? Did they come with a strong potential restructuring type of contract like the 230? Did it just make Watson feel appreciated finally for once in the past 2 years? Giving this man $230 million, that's crazy. That's crazy. Not in a bad way. It's just crazy. It's just a madness type offseason. Unbelievable offseason. And I love it. Look, I wanted the Falcons. I'm not going to lie. I wanted the Falcons. I believe differently. I see things differently than most people. Not saying I'm right or anything like that, but just that I'm looking long term. I looked at Kyle Pitts. I looked at what the Falcons would get back from a Matt Ryan trade, and I was looking 2, 3, 4 years down the road, even from a redraft perspective. In redraft, what does 3 years look like from now? In redraft, what's 4 years look like from now? In redraft, 5 years from now, what's it going to look like? So that was where my mind was going with Watson to Atlanta, and I stand by that. I really think it would have been an amazing spot. They would have worshipped him there. They'll worship him in Cleveland too. But man, that's over. Neither here nor there. Cleveland is the place Deshaun Watson's going to. In the 11th hour, the Cleveland Browns must have stepped up and gave him exactly what he wanted, the feeling he needed. And he's got Amari Cooper, who I think Amari Cooper is going to be hard-pressed to be a top 10 wide receiver, I will add, even with Watson there, because the top 10 wide receivers are so great. But he'll be right around that, you could say 9, 10, 11, 12, or 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. range. It's a good group of wide receivers in the NFL right now. It's not a bad thing. You don't need to be ashamed of yourself, Amari, if you rank number 9 at the end of the year in this amazing wide receiver pool in 2022 and beyond. You're talking about Waddles and Lambs being outside the top 5 or 6. You're talking about Adams. Where's Adams now? Adams is not in my top 5. Adams can't breach my top 5 now that Adams is in a Raider uniform. Even though it's still could be a good location for Adams, he's not in my top 5. You have a 6 to 10 that's very competitive. So Amari Cooper will be trying to breach that area, that territory. But who gets lured in to Cleveland? Who comes over to Cleveland now? Does Landry wish he would have made right with the Browns and want to be in this situation? You're damn straight he does. You can bet Landry wishes he was back in this situation. Who's coming over? Who are the Browns going to bring in? Are they done? May they trade for another wide receiver and weapon? Will they trade for somebody? Nick Chubb is going to have a great year. I don't think Nick Chubb has more than 2 years left. Maybe 2 years left at an elite level before the injuries start racking up on this guy. He had one of the biggest, most gruesome knee injuries in college football, where here's your knee bending like this. His knee bent like an L the other direction. That's going to cause long-term, quick onset type of arthritis and breakdown of the knee. So Kareem Hunt's there. You know, how long will Kareem Hunt be there? Will Chubb and Kareem Hunt be there and playing at a high level long enough for this to end up being like something where we see the Browns dominating with this core for 3 or 4 years? I don't know. I don't think Chubb and Hunt will be the answer 4 or 5 years from now at the running back position, but that's okay because look what Dearness Johnson did. You know, like you can have success in this offense because they'll move the football down the field, especially with Watson. And as much as I wanted it to be another location, think about what we're looking at here. Watson going anywhere immediately improves that roster and franchise, and it's to the moon immediately. Watson going to Atlanta increases that roster and their ability to win games right away. Watson going to wherever, if it was Indy, if it was any place, he would immediately vault that team into relevancy. Going into Cleveland, where they already have a lot of the pieces for the now, regardless of what you think of Chubb and Hunt 3 or 4 years from now. Right now, this is a very good landing spot. This is probably this and the Saints are probably, if Kamara wasn't suspended and Mike Thomas was going to play well for 2022, the Saints and the Browns, there's an argument to be made. These are the best now landing spots. Can the Cleveland Browns build around Deshaun Watson and prepare for the decline in Chubb and Hunt 2, 3, 4 years from now? Yeah, let's give the Browns the benefit of the doubt that they will build properly around him and support Watson on his 10-year journey of domination. Watson's back. This is a good environment. This is a good environment. This is a top 5 to 6 quarterback in fantasy football 2022. Where's Baker Mayfield go now? Where does Baker Lettermaker end up in 2022? Because he's not going to be in Cleveland. He requested a trade. The team said, no, not so fast, Baker. You don't get what you want, Baker Lettermaker. We will decide to trade you on our own terms. You don't get to dictate that you get to go trade. You don't get to take control of the situation, run out in front of the media and say, I've been given permission to seek a trade, therefore I will decide where I go. No, they stepped on him. They said, no, the way you behave, Baker, we're stepping on you, we're squashing you, go sit in the corner, we'll go trade you. You don't get to go negotiate and find your home. We're going to tell you where we're going to send you. Trade request denied. But he is getting traded. Is he going to the Indianapolis Colts, who need a quarterback bad? I think Matt Ryan to the Colts may still be in the cards, but I think they're going to move forward, give Matt Ryan his contract extension and move forward with that. They've already delayed on that enough. They were merely waiting for the answer of Watson. They weren't waiting to try and acquire somebody, because Matt Ryan could go to Indianapolis. That maybe the trade talk got kick-started because the Falcons thought they were getting Watson, and maybe the Colts are still interested. So there's a possibility. I mean, look at this offseason. The best offseason in the history of the NFL, in my opinion, in my 20 years of covering this professionally and jumping on here with you because I work for you. In my 20 years, this is by far the most exciting offseason I have ever been a part of in 20 straight years. Can I get an amen? Can I get a Smitty approved on that comment right there?
You've just been Smitty approved.
That is the first time I have a Smitty approved a way of thinking on this show. This is the best offseason we've ever seen. The best offseason we've ever seen. We've got reports coming in. Swaggy says 2 firsts and 2 seconds. Let me find the details of the contract. We've got the details of the trade. We got the contract mapped out here. Guaranteed 5-year, $230 million contract. Fully guaranteed. 5-year, $230. Does anybody wonder why the Browns won this? They put their brass balls on the table and said, we'll give you a guaranteed 5-year, fully guaranteed 5-year, $230 million contract. Money talks. Money talks. The Browns were out of it. The Browns were taken out of the running. They came back in with their checkbook and they said, Deshaun Watson, you're going to make $230 million guaranteed, young man. Buckle up. Get on over here. Cleveland needs you. And he said, on my way. On my way. Pitts was right about things getting scary in Atlanta. That is, Vamp is spitting facts there. Wow. First in the building today. Sorry I didn't say this earlier. Jeb, then James, then Brandon, then Blackbeard Official, Jordan, Chris, Vamp, Slayer, and so on. And appreciate Jordan Smitty, Senior Hyphy, Frake. Appreciate you all being here. What a day. What an off season. 287 of you bad boys in here. Please hit the thumbs up button on the way in the door. And if you're new, subscribe to the show. We do emergency live streams anytime there is breaking news that affects the fantasy football world to any significant degree. We go live. Okay, and that doesn't include our Monday through Friday, every single Monday through Friday live stream at 7 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube. So definitely subscribe, hit the bell notification, absolutely pulverize both of them, and hit that like button while you're at it. 80 million more guaranteed than any previous record. Yes, James, that is correct. 80 million more than any previous deal. What a market-setting move by these Cleveland Browns. They aren't messing around. They basically went to an auction and somebody said 180 million. Someone said 185. The Cleveland Browns says 230. Let's get this done. 230. Let's get this done. And fully guaranteed at that. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I need to go live on IG as well and put them in the corner. This is absolutely craziness. I'm excited. This is absolute madness. Let's see. Watson to Browns. Wow. I mean, I'm gonna lose it. I'm absolutely going crazy here. Deshaun Watson to the Cleveland Browns. We're talking about it on YouTube, so get on over to YouTube or watch me right here. So let's see if we can pull up the deal and see what the compensation was. It looks like right now I'm still waiting on some of the information on that. It does sound like it's going to be 3 firsts and 2 seconds, but I'll let you know when that information comes rolling in as concrete. Wow. What a crazy deal. So let's break this down for a second. We've got Watson locked into the top 6 overall quarterbacks in 2022 when he's on the field. Granted, the suspension could knock him down a couple notches in terms of fantasy football rankings. I don't think anybody should be expecting Deshaun Watson to not miss 4 to 6 games. It feels like it's in the cards. The NFL is definitely going to make an example out of his behavior that he partook in with the massage therapist and all that. Like, he admits to doing most of the things just in a consensual fashion. That's why criminal charges were not brought forward. But for people that think none of it happened, that he's saying He's innocent of everything. He's innocent of any wrongdoing within the confines of what's being accused of him. So he is admitting that consensually he did a lot of this stuff. The NFL is not going to have it. It put the NFL in a bad light to be reaching out to over 20, and there's thought that it's well over 20 people, and saying, hey, come on over to my place, and I've got, I'm going to hire you. So the NFL is not looking for that. Look, they have people that do that. The NFL there's a team massage therapist. There's people the NFL sends over for this. They're not having it. They're going to suspend him. So while it's easy to be like Deshaun Watson, top 5, top 6 quarterback this year, be prepared to be without him for 4 to 6 games. That could be pushed into 2023, depending on how the NFL wants to take action in waiting on the 20-plus pending cases to settle. And even if they settle, he's still going to get suspended. Settling won't determine that there's a suspension or no suspension. It's not like the criminal charges being brought forward. If they were brought forward, teams would have not traded for him. There's no way that he would have moved. And he could have been put on the commissioner exempt list. Guys, I'm going to type down here youtube.com/The Fantasy Football Show. You don't have to go there. You can certainly watch from Instagram here, but I want to make sure you guys know that I'm live on YouTube as well. And you can get more of an interactive experience there, but I don't mind talking to you here on Instagram. But the criminal charges being brought forward, if they were brought forward, he would have went on the exempt list, and then he probably would have never played football again. That hearing against the grand jury hearing was so vital. Like literally that grand jury hearing, his attorneys telling him to plead the fifth, going through the motions that they went through, literally helped land him a $230 million guaranteed contract. This could have went 2 directions. If he would have had criminal charges brought against him, Deshaun Watson may have never played football again. Because those charges were not pursued, he has a $230 million guaranteed 5-year contract, which is just unbelievable and exactly how this whole offseason has gone. The best offseason in NFL history from my perspective. Of 20 years of covering the NFL draft professionally, 20 years being in this industry, there has never been an offseason that's been more exciting than this 2022 NFL offseason, smoke season, and I love every bit of it. I love that this thing happened. I wanted Atlanta. I'll be honest. I wanted Atlanta because I thought Kyle Pitts in long term it would have been great, but I'm excited about it. I love quarterback movement. Quarterbacks moving. Tom Brady to Tampa championship. Stafford to the Rams championship. Who knows? Who knows if Watson doesn't get suspended this year for 4 to 6 games and they look at suspending him in 2023, he could take this team on a deep playoff run. This team is dramatically different with Watson on the roster. And let's be honest, Watson on any roster would improve the roster dramatically to the point where it could be a playoff team. Even the Falcons, let's be real. If he wasn't out 4 to 6 games, even on the Falcons roster, he could have potentially made the play. Like, this is Deshaun Watson. He carries people on his back for a living. Let's not act like he doesn't dramatically improve every single situation he touches. He's different than an Aaron Rodgers. He's different than any other quarterback in the NFL because this man can function by himself if he needs to. Whereas Kyler Murray, Juicebox Kyler in Arizona needs everything to be absolutely perfect. He needs his milk at room temperature, not hotter, not colder. He needs his milk at room temperature, Kyler Murray. Watson can do whatever needs to be done. Okay, he's a special quarterback. He's got over a decade left of fantasy football production at a top level, elite level, meaning everybody attached to him is looking at a bright future and a lot better dynasty outlook immediately. Even Amari Cooper, who I've been very critical of in years past, now has a whole better situation to look at and much more long-term value in terms of fantasy football. So dynasty value, Cooper got a bump for sure. Do I think he's a top 8 to 7, 8 wide receiver in fantasy football? I don't, only because not a knock necessarily on him, but because this NFL wide receiver class right now, every single one of these guys is elite. You got Lamb and Waddle vying for top 10 wide receiver spots. It's hard to imagine that those guys rank below Cooper just because Watson's in town. A lot of what Watson can do is run the football and spread the ball around and win games single-handedly. So I feel like Cooper just got a huge upgrade. Let's not make any like bones about it. Like he is a better wide receiver today than he was, yesterday. That's for sure. Cooper was a wide receiver 2 in my book yesterday. Now he's a borderline wide receiver 1. That's a big bump. It's no disrespect to Cooper. He's going to be in that 9 to 12 range. That's good. That's a really good wide receiver. There's no shame in being ranked outside of the top 6 or 7. Just because Watson lands there doesn't mean he's a top 5 guy right away. Watson spreads the ball differently. Watson is the guy. Everything goes through Watson. Watson can run for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns and have 150 and 1 touchdown through the air. He can have those kinds of games. But, man, Watson, what weapons are they bringing in? What weapons are they bringing in for Deshaun Watson? Because they're not done. They're not done. Does Juju now come over? I'm not the biggest Juju fan, but if he landed in this situation, I probably would be a bigger fan. That's the truth. The facts are Watson makes you better. Watson makes you better. 500 people in the YouTube live. Hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. Absolutely pulverize that subscribe button. Smash it. Smash it. Annihilate it. Hit the thumbs up. Turn the bell notifications on. Do it live. Do it live because we are emergency live streaming anytime there's ever breaking news that affects the NFL in any sort of major way. Your boy Smitty jumps on YouTube within 1 to 2 to 3 minutes, and I go live for like an hour to an hour and a half breaking down the situation. What better channel is there out there? And if you're in Instagramville over in the corner, make sure you're subscribed to YouTube. You can stay over here on IG, but make sure you subscribe to YouTube because I need to make sure. I want to invite my boy Couch in here on Instagram real quick. And then, Couch, I got to get back to the YouTube live, but I just want to hear your quick thoughts on the situation. What's up, Couch?
Whoa, you accepted me. I didn't.
Yeah. Were you changing? Did I catch you off guard? Couch.
Yeah, but I'm a quick dresser.
Okay.
Man, I had Cleveland as my dark horse, and I'm just very excited and happy for Deshaun Watson. I think this is a great landing spot. And like you were saying, it just takes the franchise to the next level. He's gonna show people how bad Baker Mayfield was. Yeah,
Baker, letter maker. Hey, Couch, I appreciate you jumping on. I got to get back to the YouTube live, but I wanted to see if you liked the move. Real quickly, where's Amari Cooper ranking your wide receiver rankings for 2022? He doesn't breach like the top 5 or 6. He still stays like in that 10, around 10, 11, 12, right?
Maybe higher, but I think they're gonna go get another wide receiver.
Yeah.
Either in the draft in round 3 or get a cheap one like Will Fuller. I think
Will Fuller
is perfect and cheap.
Yeah,
but you can only expect him to play about 6.5 games. But.
Yeah. Juju would be a decent ad. I would say Landry, but he just left. So maybe Landry calls up Watson and says, "Dude, you think you could just put in a good word for me?"
It's not the same team right now, so they can get Jarvis back. Unlikely, but this was very unlikely too. But
yeah. All right, Couch, appreciate you, man.
All right,
man. Anyway, what a day! What a day! We're having a day. I love smoke season. We've got 528 in here. Punch the thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. This is called an emergency live stream, baby. We go live. When news breaks, we go live. Why would you not want to be here? So subscribe and hit that thumbs up button. Terry, how many thumbs up we got, Terry? How many thumbs up? Boy, I'm sweating. I'm sweating here. This kind of news is phenomenal for fantasy football. Just when player movement happens, phenomenal. We just had Deshaun Watson not playing football. We had Deshaun Watson sitting the bench for the entire 2021 season. Now he's in play. Not only is he in play, he's in play in a new environment where he can go crazy and actually blossom. Yes, Watson can get better. Believe it or not, Watson can get better, and he will get better in an environment where he's wanted. When you get $230 million for 5 years on a fully guaranteed deal, you feel wanted. I believe we're going to probably hear it's the contract that made him make this move. Like, what were the other teams offering? What kind of guaranteed money were in those deals? To get a 5-year, $230 million fully guaranteed contract is absolutely insane. And not insane in a bad way, but just that's got to be what made him feel special in this moment. And I'm not sure about you or you or you or you or you, but I'd feel pretty darn special if someone gave me $230 million guaranteed for 5 years. It would make me jump. I don't care where I was going. That would make me jump. The Cleveland Browns played 3D chess against 3 teams that were playing 3D checkers. And they literally came back from the dead. This was the most unlikely spot because they were bumped out of the running according to smoke reports, which is why you can never take smoke season fully seriously when news comes rolling in. There were 4 teams left. The Cleveland Browns, the Carolina Panthers, the New Orleans Saints, who everyone thought were the front runner, and they weren't. And then the Falcons came in the final 11th hour and almost pulled it off. But they probably offered the guy $1.25 guaranteed, which is what I think turned this deal in the other direction. But the Browns were the 4th option. They were the one team eliminated, according to reports, walking into like 2 days ago. And then the Panthers fell off. They were informed they're no longer in the running. They probably offered them $1.50 guaranteed. And the Browns sitting back, waiting at an auction, quietly letting everybody bid, and they were stealth-like, just sitting there. And the Browns said, $230 guaranteed. Watson said, done. Now he's a Cleveland Brown, and they're bringing in talent. Imagine the amount of talent that wants to come to Cleveland. Imagine all the players that are like, we've been sitting back waiting for the domino to fall. Where is Deshaun Watson going to be playing football? I'm not moving and jumping until Watson lands with a new team. Now Watson's in Cleveland. Who's going to go over there? What wide receivers are going to want to play there? Will they make another trade and make a splash? They're fully committed to him, $230 million. Look, if there's cap space to do it, and if there's capital that they feel like using or trading up to get a wide receiver, like they could figure out a way to move players or move whatever to maybe move up slightly in the draft. This is a very good wide receiver draft class. There might be somebody sitting there that they can scoop up that falls way too far. But honestly, I think Juju is going to be a name that comes up immediately. It's weird that Landry could come up again, but you never know. As I just said with Couch there on a IG Live, you never know. Landry might call up and say, wait a minute. Can I come back? Please? Can I come back? Hey, Watson, can you make it happen? Watson could make it happen. But Juju, I mark my words, the next thing we hear, it'll be Juju Smith-Schuster. We got 700 people in the live stream. Punch the thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. Smash and pulverize that subscribe button and turn on those bell notifications because your boy Smitty works for you. I work for you, and you. And when breaking news hits, I built this studio attached to my house. I walk in here, hit the lights on, and I go live, baby. That's called emergency live stream style, and we do it here live. So subscribe and get ready. Let's see here. I'm telling you, Juju news is coming. Let's see here. maybe he's going somewhere else. Hold on. Did someone just say Juju news broke? Or no, somebody's just speculating. Someone's speculating. Let me see here. Juju Smith-Schuster. Does anybody have any Juju news? It's coming. I cannot believe what we just witnessed. Let me put this tweet on screen. Did anybody picture this? This is from Adam Schefter, a dog pound post. Here's what Watson looks like in a Cleveland Brown uniform. We got 721 in the live stream. Subscribe if you're new. That looks beautiful. Wow. Dog pound. Okay, let's see here. What do you guys have? Hit me with some questions. Wow. I'm a laugh so hard if Odell goes back to the Browns. Juju to the Chiefs, says 49er Minded. Odell Beckham back to the Browns. Bye-bye, Baker. Civil suits ain't going to mean Shiat. Watson playing for sure. Well, bro, it comes down to the fact that he violated the league personal conduct policy. The league will suspend him for probably 4 to 6 games at some point. I don't know if it'll be this year. Could they consider time served? Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see here. Let's see here. What else we got? 840 people in the live stream. Drop a comment. Juju tweeted, "I'm going to the Chiefs." That's fitting. That's fitting. that's fitting. Why, Juju? You could have just went and played with Deshaun Watson. I don't know if that's true, but I am seeing it by a lot of you guys saying Juju to the Chiefs. Juju to the Chiefs. Let me pull up that tweet just to confirm it. But enough of you are posting it that I'm pretty sure is true. I did tell you he'd be in the news. Did I not? Did I not just say the next thing you're going to hear is that Juju, yeah, he's a Chief. Look at it. 4 minutes ago. 4 minutes ago. Your boy Smitty's on top of it. I just had it backwards. Juju Smith-Schuster just tweeted out 4 minutes ago, as you guys are saying in the chat here. Sorry, I've been distracted. Talked about Watson. Chiefs Kingdom, let's go. 4 minutes ago. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay, so Juju's off the table. But mark my words, enough players are going to line up to come play for the Cleveland Browns. It is a shame, even though Allen Robinson, I do wonder if A-Rob's got anything left in the tank. I do feel like A-Rob would have been great, but he didn't wait. He wasn't patient enough. He should have waited around. But there's still a lot of potential options, not to mention, rookies. This is a very deep wide receiver rookie class. And it doesn't have to happen now. Guys, this is long term. Cleveland could definitely end up building around this as they play for the now too. If Cleveland's smart, they'll cultivate talent as they go, and they've got enough talent right now to win. They don't need, the Browns don't need to bring in a big name wide receiver. I'm just saying they'll probably lure in a lot of potential good talent, but Juju should have went to the Cleveland Browns. Why is he going to the Kansas City Chiefs? I apologize if you're a Chiefs fan, but I'm going to be critical of Juju real quick. This was a stupid move when you could have went and played with Deshaun Watson in Cleveland. Why would you go to the Kansas City Chiefs that don't have a place for you to be a wide receiver 1 or even a wide receiver 2 or the second best pass catcher? He'll literally be like 4th in the pecking order at best because you have Kelsey and Hill as your top 2 spots. You've got Hardman. You've got the running backs. This is a tough situation for Juju to walk into and expect to be utilized properly. Maybe he just wants a championship. Maybe he wants to focus on his tiki-talks and do those on the sideline and really just get a paycheck so he can do what he really wants to do. Work on the job. Do his tiki-talks on the job. That's what Juju wants. Forget Juju. The Browns don't need Juju. The Browns will figure it out. Watson will carry everybody on his back even though he won't need to. This is a phenomenal situation. Again, you guys know I wanted Atlanta, but that's in the past. We're moving forward. This is what it is. And while I love the idea of Kyle Pitts and Deshaun Watson for a decade, I loved it. It absolutely excited me. It made me excited. This is a great situation for Deshaun Watson. This is a great situation for the Cleveland Browns. We got 983 people in here. Subscribe, pulverize the like button, hit the bell notification. Let's go. Matt Ryan's deal is finalized. It looks like they were waiting. The Falcons were waiting. They actually pushed Matt Ryan's Falcon deal. Let's see here. I think it's being finalized. Maybe it's not. Hold on. I jumped the gun on reading that. Atlanta turned their attention to making Matt Ryan feel wanted. It looks like that did potentially happen. So Matt Ryan, they waited. They waited to extend him because they wanted to try and trade him. And so they were going to extend him last week and push a lot of the problems down the road, kick the can down the road with Matt Ryan's contract so that they could trade him better to Cleveland or to the Colts. And they waited and waited, and now Matt Ryan is now the Atlanta Falcons savior all of a sudden again. So they're going to extend him. Falcons fans got to be upset. Man, can you imagine thinking you're going to upgrade Matt Ryan into Deshaun Watson? I feel really bad for my Atlanta Falcons fans out there. My heart goes out to you. I was rooting for you. I was pulling for you. The New Orleans Saints, everybody says is this amazing landing spot. Well, guess what? The Saints just went back to being a mediocre team. Kamara's going to miss maybe 4 to 6 games, maybe longer. The guy could be in jail. Like, we don't really know what's going to happen with Alvin Kamara's situation, but Alvin Kamara probably going to miss 4 to 6 games, maybe half of a season. And Mike Thomas may be a shell of himself. We don't know what Mike Thomas is. So now the Saints fans, and I feel very, very bad for the Saints fans. I feel very, very bad for the Saints fans. I feel very bad for the Falcons fans. You guys there's a carrot dangled in front of you. You were so excited, and now that carrot's been ripped away. And the Saints with Winston, I'm sorry, they'll be an okay team, but this is an okay team. The Saints will not be a great team, and the Falcons will not be a great team. Unfortunately, this is a franchise move. This is the kind of move that literally changes your franchise. The quarterback specifically, Deshaun Watson, 10 years of Deshaun Watson. We got 1,000 people in the live stream. Hit that subscribe button. Pulverize it. And more importantly, leave a comment when the video is over. I answer every comment on my YouTube channel. Until it becomes physically impossible, I will. So know that. You got a question, ask me in the comments when the video is over and drop a question. We've got 1,016 people in here. YouTube, we got Instagram over here. Yeah, Juju to the Saints. We know, pal. Watson's a difference maker. Watson changes a franchise. It's absolutely unbelievable. 216 thumbs up, awesome. 1,000 in here. Smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new, says Blackbeard. I go live daily, which is facts. Absolute facts. Let's see here. What else you guys got with questions? Looks like, everyone's right reporting Juju to the Chiefs. I got it. Message received. 4 minutes ago, Juju Smith-Schuster decided his own fate and put a nail in his fantasy football coffin, because what's this man gonna go do? Like, this is fitting. Is he gonna go dance with Patrick Mahomes' brother? Is this gonna be Jackson Mahomes and Juju on the sideline together during games? Like, I think maybe Mahomes is just got his hands in his face right now like this, going, you gotta be kidding me. I gotta deal with my brother doing this dancing during my games and being disrespectful and distracting. And I've got this whole situation going on with the family life at the game, just embarrassing the hell out of me. And now you bring in the number one TikToker in the NFL, the dance machine himself, Juju Smith-Schuster, and literally when Mahomes is going out to warm up and try and take things seriously, he's going to see his brother at the 50-yard line with Juju Smith-Schuster when Juju is supposed to be warming up and getting ready for games, and now you got Juju and Jackson Mahomes dancing at the 50 while Mahomes is trying to get serious and be motivated. Look, you guys could joke around like this is funny, but Juju is kind of a distraction in a way. He's not fully focused on football. And as much as I love when players love fantasy football, he's more focused on fantasy football than he is anything else in doing these drafts and things. Like, Juju needs to lock down his priorities. He can still build his side brand and all that without affecting the NFL. And Mahomes, you can laugh all you want and say Jackson Mahomes and Juju won't distract him, but everybody, I think, has a gut feeling that Mahomes has been off point a little bit because there's a lot of distractions going on regarding him, his family life, and Jackson Mahomes. So we'll see. I'm not mad that Juju's in KC. Put him somewhere where he can just do what he wants, and he'll have relevant value, but he won't be an electric fantasy football player in that Chiefs offense. I know people want to immediately connect the dots and say, oh, Kansas City, Mahomes, Juju, he's going to be good. He's got Mahomes. No, not the case. Not when you have all these mouths to feed and Juju's not proving to be what he was supposed to be. When AB, Antonio Brown, left Pittsburgh, there was a small window of time where we all thought that Juju could take that big step forward to be a wide receiver one in the NFL. Look, I'm ashamed to admit I felt that way too. We all did, let's be honest. But Juju ain't that wide receiver one guy. He's not that guy, bud, pal. He's not that guy. What's up? Los Angeles Rams back-to-back champ, says Faith Family Football. I mean, it's possible, but I don't think so. I think for the Rams to get through these AFC teams is going to be tough enough when they meet in the Super Bowl. But the NFC is a lot tougher than it was. I've got it up on the board right here. You guys can see. I talk about. Let me get over here and talk about this real quick. I talk about how the Niners, the Rams, the Bucks, and the Packers, even without Devontae Adams, they're still going to be competitive. But I don't think they're a deep playoff team. I think they choke because they don't have Adams. But you got Dallas, you got Arizona. If Kyler Murray juicebox, Kyler gets back on track. Atlanta no longer is even in the conversation that was brought up on this live stream we did. But you got literally a pretty decent NFC now. Before Tom Brady decided to come back, it was looking weak. Before Aaron Rodgers decided to come back, it was looking pretty bleak. It was the Niners, the Rams, maybe the Cowboys and Cardinals. You could throw your team in there. I'm sorry if I offend you and your team's not up on the board. But really, this AFC, Burrow, you've got Mahomes, you've got Herbert, you've got the Denver Broncos with Russell Wilson, you got the Buffalo Bills. I mean, who's the front runner? I would say the Bills are probably the front runner. The Chargers are my favorite dark horse to make it to the Super Bowl, and Herbert to me is going to be good old Herbs is going to potentially be the NFL MVP. You heard it here first. You heard it from your boy Smitty. NFL MVP, Mr. Hurts. Herbert. Just saying Hurts. Justin Herbert, NFL MVP. Herbie, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy we say, Herbert's the GOAT, punch you in the throat. Herbert, I think, will win the NFL MVP. AFC is a beast. What's up, Instagram? I forgot you were even there. I forgot IG was in the corner here. I just completely forgot. Watson, let's talk about it. Broncos ain't making it. Well, Cameron, as I just explained to you, if you look at the board, bro, you've got Cincinnati, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Broncos, and the Bills. If you think for a second that making a comment like, and I'm not mad at you, Cameron, but if you think making a comment like they'll never make it and then they don't make it's going to make me look bad or wrong, you're crazy, because this, I'm telling you, any one of these teams can win it. It's going to be hard. This comment right here, and again, I'm not mad at you, Cameron, this comment right here you could say about any of those teams on the board. You could say, oh, the Chiefs aren't making it. Oh, the Bengals aren't making it. Oh, the Broncos aren't making it. The Chargers aren't making it. The Buffalo Bills aren't making it, because you have literally 5 elite teams, AFC monsters over there. Anybody making it 2 years in a row is going to be tough. Cameron, it's going to be tough for any AFC team to continue to vie for that number 1 spot. It's going to be tough. Your board is weak, says Bill. Really, Bill? I mean, I look at this board, looks pretty solid, Bill. You show me a board that looks better than that, Bill. Poor Bill. Hey, Bill, I got something for you. Bill, you ready? You ready, Bill? I'm making Bill take a lap. There you go, Bill. Chew on that, Bill. Okay, so, there we go. Where are we at? Where's my music? Smitty, whiteboard writer. Baker, letter maker. Okay, Bill says I'm awesome now. So Bill didn't like my board. Now Bill likes me. I appreciate you, Bill. Okay, Juju to the Chiefs. We got that. I'm already caught up on the Juju to the Chiefs. We don't need to keep addressing that, to be honest. Let's break down the top 10 quarterbacks in fantasy football. Let's break it down. These were the free agent teams. Hey, Instagram, I'm going to end it right now. Please go to youtube.com/the Fantasy Football Show and keep watching. Appreciate you. I'm gonna end that Instagram live real quick. Wow, I mean, Watson to the Browns is phenomenal news for fantasy football. Like, unbelievable. Like, this is crazy, guys. This is absolute madness. Okay, so here we go. Let's go to the board. This is what we were talking about earlier. Browns now are off the table in terms of needing a quarterback. Panthers need a quarterback. Seahawks need a quarterback. Saints need a quarterback. I predict that Winston goes here. Watson is going to the Browns. So, you can't read some of that, but Watson, Winston to the Saints, in my opinion. So the Panthers, Seahawks, Colts all need quarterbacks. I believe Baker will end up as a Colt. In my opinion, he could be a Seahawk, but I think Baker, touchdown maker, Baker, letter maker, Baker, winemaker, will probably land here. So I believe the Colts will be off the board. I believe the Saints will be off the board. You literally have the Seahawks and Panthers left. And keep in mind that you have also Malik Willis, 2 or 3 rookies. Jimmy G ain't going anywhere, I don't think. So you're not going to see Jimmy G as a Seahawk because that's interdivision. The Browns are off the table. The Colts, I think, again, get Baker. Seahawks could maybe get Baker. But the Seahawks will not get Jimmy G. They can't enter division. Panthers could maybe be the only player for Jimmy G. This is your Jimmy G shot right here. That's the only shot you have at a quarterback right there. Is right there. Jimmy G going to the Panthers. Let me get my eraser real quick. Okay, let's break down the top 10 quarterbacks in 2022 fantasy football. Okay, let's break it down. Let's do it live. Number 1 in fantasy football 2022 QB rankings. Number 1 is going to be Allen for me. Does anybody think it's Mahomes? Does anybody have a different quarterback? You're not crazy to like Herbert, but I myself have Josh Allen number 1. He was number 1 last year. We took a lot of heat over the last 2 years ranking Josh Allen where we do, but yet here he is. Jim with the super chat. Jim, appreciate you, good buddy. Jim says, hey, Smitty, if Watson settled for $1 million for each victim, he would still have $208 million left. You got to wonder what this does to his settlement. Having $200, I mean, this is a good point. We haven't talked about that yet. Having this much money, what's it going to mean? What's it going to mean for Deshaun Watson settlements? They're going to go up. Like, that opposing attorney is going to be like, look at this. We're gonna get $1 million each for you, and Watson probably doesn't care at this point. But you also, one thing I will say, you got to wonder what could happen to potential people that have not come forward, that decided not to come forward. Are they now going to come forward and cause a bigger mess for him because now he's got all this money? That happens. It sucks. It's the way life is. The people are motivated by money to come through and come forward, but who knows? So Allen number 1, we got Mahomes number 2. Does anybody disagree? It's okay if you do. It's not going to change my mind, but I do want to know what you guys think about this. Juju confirmed. We know JD, we got it. Glad your board game straight. Bill, this is a different board. Bill had the nerve to say my board game was weak when I literally have 2 marker boards here. I've got a marker board right here. And apparently my board game's weak, according to Bill, who I sent on a lap. Number 3 is Herbert, who finished number 2 last year. And I think Herbert could be the MVP of the NFL in 2022. Mark it down. Okay. Number 4. Who's number 4? Let's take it to the chat. Who's number 4 in your guys' opinion? I'm okay with Herbs over Mahomes. Like this could go either way. Is Burrow for sure the next up? Or does anybody have Watson there? Is Watson here? I think while I won't rank him here, I really believe Trey Lance is coming up next, or coming up soon. People are going to undervalue Trey. You just can't draft Trey anywhere near this top 5, or you're making a grave mistake. You're making an absolutely massive mistake. I could go back and forth on these two, to be honest. I love Burrow, but I also love Watson. But this is your top 5. If you're drafting, this is your top 5. Then you've got Trey, you've got Wilson, you've got A-Rod. Even though A-Rod just lost Adams, he drops really far. He's no longer 5 or 6, or potentially A-Rod drops 4, maybe 3 or 4 spots. That's a horrible. It was a bad decision for Aaron Rodgers to return to Green Bay when he knew that he was potentially going to be looking at no Devontae Adams. That's what the reports are saying. I don't know if I buy the reports, to be honest. I don't know that I buy them. You've got people that are going to want to argue Lamar. Oh, you can't even read that. Sorry. Wilson. You got people that are going to argue Lamar. You got people that will argue Juicebox Kyler. This is a tough thing right here to rank these guys because, Brady. Where's Brady go? I mean, this is tough. Wilson, Lamar, Brady, Trey, Kyler, A-Rod. You literally could make arguments for any one of these guys to go 6, 7, and 8. And then if you do, people are going to bicker and complain and be upset that you have Brady too low, you have Lamar too low, you've got A-Rod too low. You'll still do it. Trey's got to be 6. No, Trey can't be top 10. Russell Wilson, he's never going to be a stud in Denver. No, Russell Wilson's going to be a potential MVP candidate in Denver. Everyone's going to be all over the place. Stafford, like, where do you put Stafford? Everybody's going to be upset. No one's going to be happy with this ranking here. But I think this is pretty hard to argue. 1 through 5, I don't hear any complaints. I don't see very many complaints other than I might prefer Herbert. This top 5's easy. Where it's hard is right here. This is what separates the boys from the men. And it's like Trey Lance, to me, is the sneakiest one. If I'm gonna draft any one of these guys, I like Wilson too. I think Wilson's gonna be undervalued. If I'm drafting any one of these guys right here, I'm drafting Trey later. I'm taking Trey probably, if I can, around 8 to 11 for quarterbacks. And that's if I don't go early quarterback, which I'm not opposed to. But Trey Lance is the dark horse, the secret weapon in this group right here. Wilson's probably the second biggest secret weapon. Brady, I like Brady, but he's going to get drafted 6, 7. Lamar's going to get drafted around 6 to 7 for quarterbacks. And I'm staying away from Lamar and Brady more so than I'm going after Trey and Russell Wilson. A-Rod, I'm probably not going to go near. Juicebox Kyler, I'm not going to go near. Not at their ADP. Stafford's okay. I'm not avoiding or going after him, but I'm definitely avoiding Lamar. I'm definitely avoiding Kyler. I'm avoiding A-Rod and not avoiding Brady necessarily, but I'm not like attacking Brady because I think he's going to go 6 or 7. It's Trey Lance. When you get into this group of quarterbacks, it's Trey Lance for me. I think he's going to absolutely be top 5, 6, 7 capable in 2022. Now, Watson being in the mix now does potentially bump Trey or Wilson or whoever you have over here into this bucket. If we had to pull somebody over, Wilson, Lamar, Trey, those are all worthy considerations for this 5 spot. If Watson's not playing, like if Watson's criminal charges went through, we'd have a whole different situation. But Watson now takes that top 5 spot, and deservedly so. Russell Wilson is definitely going to have, I think, an underrated year in 2022 too. So get ready for that. Lawrence will be average yet again. I don't know if that's true, Llama. I do like Lawrence quite a bit. I think Lawrence will be really good. Not too confident on Watson, says Rob. Why is that, Rob? Why aren't you confident? Trevor is comical, says Swaggy. I don't know what Trevor's saying, but apparently Trevor's saying something comical. Dude's talking about Trey, but not Trevor Lawrence. Ha, 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 ha. Wow, you got me, pal. I'm sure everybody in here also agrees that you just annihilated me with that comment because it is ridiculous to talk about Trey and not talk about Lawrence. like here's the thing, team BYG. If you said Trey Lance, or if you said Trevor Lawrence will be top 6 in your opinion, you know what I would do? I would say, do you, bro? That's awesome. I love bold predictions. Anything can happen. But your stance is quite the opposite. Team BYG. You seem to think that other people's opinions can't happen. Like I think what you're saying could work, could happen. Trevor Lawrence could literally blow the top off everything and have an amazing year. He could. But that's the difference, bro. The open-mindedness that these things can move around a little bit. They're not set in stone, Team BYG. Your take isn't you don't have the Gray Sportsbook Almanac from Back to the Future, do you? Because I'd love to know why Trey Lance over Trevor Lawrence is such a laughable offense. It'd be different if you were talking about Burrow and Trey or something like that. But you're literally trying to talk about a guy in Lawrence that didn't have the best year, who looks promising, and I agree with you. But how is that laughable, bro? How does that warrant 4 ha-has in a row? Maybe 1 I'd be okay with, but not 4, bro. Kyler Murray is funny, says Susan. Stafford get red zone upgrade this season. Yeah, Allen Robinson was a good addition. I'm not 100 on Watson, says Coder. Go Chargers. I agree, Super Looney. I think the Chargers are going to be out of their minds this year. Chargers improve their defense, which will improve their offense and trickle down. You're talking about MVP consideration in Justin Herbert in 2022. Justin Herbert will be an MVP. He might win the MVP, but he'll definitely be an MVP candidate. Talks. Dak not being on the list. Ha ha. Is that a ha ha like good, or ha ha like he should be on? Ha ha, Webb. I'm not sure which one you're meaning. Dak's on the list. I mean, Dak could be on the list. There's a couple quarterbacks I left off. Like leaving off Lawrence and Dak was no disrespect. It was just a matter of I stopped writing with the pen, if you know what I mean. Like he's not in my top. I'm not considering Dak in my top 6 or 7. I didn't write his name down. Doesn't mean he can't be in the top 10. Isn't ready for all the trolls as he's get hella people in here. I'm ready for the trolls, Tube. I don't care about the trolls. Does it look like I'm fazed by the trolls? I'm sending people on laps. I'm sending innocent people on laps. Tube, I'll send you. Anybody can go for a lap. No one's immune from taking a lap. I've been dealing with trolls for 20 years. You think it bothers me, Tube? You are mistaken. Derek Carr. Aaron wants to know why Derek Carr wasn't mentioned, and there's more laughter. Derek. I like Derek Carr. Derek Carr is not a bad quarterback, but does Derek Carr really breach your top 6? Does Derek Carr really breach your top 6 because he got Devontae Adams? I don't know. Amari better with Watson? Absolutely. Is he top 6 or 7 for wide receiver 2022? Probably not. Could he be 9 to 12? Absolutely. You missed my super, says Ryan. Ryan, let me go find it. Apologize. Ryan dropped a super chat a while ago. I apologize, Ryan. The chat was going crazy. So this is a super chat from PRX. Are you still here, pal? Now we need one good wide receiver, and Herbert overrated. Burrow number 3. Okay. I appreciate it. It's okay to disagree. Terry Roberts with the super chat. Guys, get yourself a LifetimeSleeperU.com account now. Terry's talking about right behind my head. Go to SleeperU.com if you want bold predictions, rankings, and all that. Definitely the place to be. Where are we at? Where's the super chat of yours, Ryan? I'm looking for it, Ryan. I don't see it yet. Hold on. I apologize, buddy. Jim Bob says, if Watson settled for $1 million. Oh, I already got that one. Thank you, Jim Bob. Ryan, I'm looking for your super chat, good buddy. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to find it. It was a ways up here, Ryan. I'm sorry about that. I was probably in the middle of my long rant. I wasn't stopping for anything when I was ranting because there was a lot to talk about. Ryan, good God, how far up is this, bro? I think we've had like 1,900 comments so far. Dominic, apologize I didn't see this. Watson, that like button. Thank you, Dominic. I hope you're still here too. Appreciate you. Ryan, where is your super chat, bro? Ryan, I'm not seeing it, man. Is it like in the very beginning? Spacula says Browns QB drought over. Absolutely, Spacula. Thank you for the super chat, Spacula. Appreciate you. Vamp super chatted. Thank you, Vamp. I appreciate you. Jordan That's insane. I didn't see that. Where all them Falcons and Saints fans at? Glad he's not NFC South, though. What happened was, I think when the chat was blowing up, like these super chats were coming in late and the chat already zipped on by. I'm looking for Ryan's. Ryan, I don't see your super chat. Can you repost your question, Ryan? Are you sure the super chat went through? Good, buddy? Because I don't see your comment anywhere. Jim Bob. Terry. PRX. Thank you again, PRX. Hope you're still here. Ryan, I don't see your super chat. Can you please just post your comment again? Terry, you should copy paste Ryan's. Yeah, if you can see it, copy paste it, Terry, if you can. Carr will do good. Raiders have weapons, Adams and Waller. Yeah, he'll do good. He's not my top 5 or 6. Like, nobody can get mad at somebody if Carr isn't in their top 5 or 6 overall. Let me clarify. Carr isn't as talented, but his teammates make a great argument for his ADP going up. Absolutely. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Joel Smitty, it's 18-month membership from Ryan. I don't think you see those. I don't know. I don't know, bro. Deshaun thinks he's LeBron James. Well, he just got $230 million guaranteed, fully guaranteed. So maybe he's got a point. Watson gonna be running for his life. Got a little weapons out. Watson will be fine. Watson will be fine. I don't know why you think he'll be running for his life. They're gonna improve as best they can around him, and just having Watson there, like. You can't take Baker's production and running for his life and the lack of fluidness in the offense and just kind of like transfer it over to Watson. Like Watson being under center backs the defense up. Less defenders are in the box. Like less 8-man fronts, less chaos going on at the line of scrimmage. Watson just being under center spreads everything out. Like people need to understand that. I swear every time and I'm not trying to rip on your take. I'm just saying like everyone needs to relax on Watson running for his life or like things improve immediately all over the board. Like don't look at Baker's play and think, oh, everything negative you saw Baker doing or running or getting sacked. Watson's going to change everything. It's going to be absolutely different right out of the gate. Cliff says this is Ryan's comment from Ryan. Hey, would you move Aaron Jones for Cooper in Dynasty? Yeah, I probably would. Aaron Jones may not even have, like, look, without Amari there, without Devontae Adams in Green Bay, you might see a different team. Not to mention, will A-Rod stay 2 or 3 years now? I don't think so. You know, so in Dynasty, Aaron Jones is older. He's injury prone. He'll probably be released next year in 2023 because the team will save, I think, upwards of 10 plus maybe 15, 13 million. I forget if it's 10 or 13. The Packers will save 10 to 13 million if they cut him in the offseason. And so it's going to be A.J. Dillon's team. Now, could Aaron Jones land with another team and be a starter? Maybe, but it depends on how his season ends. If he's getting cut, like, he'll be worth keeping if he blows up, right? But if he doesn't blow up and he gets cut, what team's going to bring him in to start? So give me Amari Cooper. And then I try and flip Cooper off of all this news. But Aaron Jones, he might have one good year left, but he also might not. And he might be elsewhere next year, and it might not be a good situation. But Dillon will probably start 2023. And I fully believe Aaron Jones will be cut at this moment. Dillon is a beast. That's absolutely correct. Roberts, I don't think the memberships show up in the chat. Yeah, they do. The memberships show up on YouTube in the chat, but not in my system here. So I sometimes don't see it. So my bad. Thank you, Ryan, for the super chat. Sorry I didn't see it earlier. Appreciate you. Thank you, Terry, for repeating that question form too. QB fallout. I don't know. What do you mean? Like, what happens with the remainder of the spots? I mean, like I said, Carolina may be interested in Jimmy G, maybe Mariota. Who knows? But I think Jimmy G probably isn't going anywhere, unfortunately, and that's going to cause some chaos in San Francisco, which I don't want. I want Trey Lance to develop properly without the pressures and the headaches that come along with Jimmy G. So I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Bucks, Raiders, Super Bowl. Bucks, Raiders, Super Bowl, 20 years since the Tuck rule. I look, anything can happen, Brandon, but I think there's very little chance of a Bucks Raiders Super Bowl. But trust your gut. I said the Bengals would win the division, and that seems silly too. So if that's how you feel, don't let anybody, including me, tell you otherwise, or you're gonna regret it if it ends up happening. But I don't think that'll happen. Deshaun thinks he's LeBron James. Already got to that question. Sorry, and I don't know if he repeated it or if I found it somehow again. Super chat by Brandon. Brandon, if you have a question, please drop it. You didn't attach one, but I appreciate your super chat, young man. You are a goat. Thank you. AFC loaded with QBs, absolutely. Bucks not going to the Super Bowl. Way to hustle, Smitty. Thank you, Devin. I appreciate being appreciated. I'll tell you that. You know, Smitty's been in here. I go live immediately. We're going to have a certain amount of trolls with the kind of exposure we're getting during an amazing live stream like today's live stream. I mean, we're doing it live. No one's doing it live like we do. No one goes live literally 1 to 2 minutes into breaking news every single time. Nobody does that. We do it. We do it. It's what we do. And I work for you, and I know 98% of you appreciate it. 98% of you are hitting that like button, right? 98% of you are hitting that subscribe button if you're new, right? I even got a button for it. Hold on.
Hit that subscribe button if you're new, and wipe your feet at the door.
Wiping your feet means hit the like button. So appreciate you. And man, you know, we've got so much faith family football just subscribed. Thank you. Appreciate that. Best show, period. We appreciate you, Smitty. Thank you. Where is Doug? I don't know where Doug is, bro. Doug might have left after the Cleveland Browns situation. I don't know. Thank you, Blunt. Appreciate you. Channel has been pumping. Yeah, we've been cranking out the content, man. Appreciate you. Okay, so we'll be back later. I'm not necessarily leaving yet, but we'll be back later at 7 p.m. Eastern. For those of you that are new, we literally go live during any emergency news on across the NFL. And I go live from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., 1 hour every single Monday through Friday here on the channel, youtube.com/The Fantasy Football Show. You could always find it at smitty1.com. But we go live from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. every single Monday through Friday. So you've got your one-stop shop, fantasy football and NFL. It's not just fantasy football. We break down all the NFL stuff as well. Watson's wide receivers, Amari Cooper is obviously his biggest target right now. Let me pull up the depth chart, and I'll put it on screen for you so you guys can take a look at it. But man, I can't believe Deshaun Watson is a Cleveland Brown. This is absolute madness. Looking him up on news wires and stuff and seeing that orange, like, this is crazy. $230 million. Absolutely unbelievable. So depth chart wise for wide receivers, let me put this on screen. I'll put the entire depth chart on screen. And Baker will be moved, I think, very soon. There's talk that maybe he won't be moved. That's posturing. Don't listen to that. And Njoku is back with the teams for 2022, so he could become a pretty good player. He always had upside, but Njoku couldn't stay healthy. Here's the depth chart for the Cleveland Browns as it stands right now. Deshaun Watson atop the quarterback depth chart. Baker Mayfield is sitting there injured and wounded and writing letters from the 2 spot, but they'll be trading him. And what are they going to get? Like, that's another thing. What if they trade him for, like, Michael Pittman? You know? What if they trade Baker to the Colts for Michael Pittman? What if they trade Baker for a player? What if they trade Baker for an impact wide receiver? I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying people keep acting like they gave up too much to build around. Like, they have nothing to use. Like, they have Baker Mayfield. They could get... What if they were to get a first rounder for Baker if they gave up any additional draft capital they can put together that they have left, and get like a late first rounder and pick up one of these wide receivers? I'm just saying it's all possible. People act like there's no moves to be made for the Browns. They can bring in some wide receivers. They can use Baker Mayfield to up their potential draft capital. You've got Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt and Dearness Johnson at running back. These are 3 really good running backs that can, any one of them can be a 115-yard and a touchdown rusher on any given game. During any given game, you've got some weak wide receiver options potentially. Peoples-Jones is actually pretty good if he can get healthy. You've got Amari Cooper and you got Njoku. This order is a little out of whack. Harrison Bryant's okay, but Njoku, if he was to stay healthy, and play could do pretty well. Switzer, we'll see. But Cooper and Peoples-Jones are actually pretty good. I like Peoples-Jones a lot. He just has trouble staying healthy. He could be a pretty good asset for Watson and the Cleveland Browns. Who does New Orleans get now at QB? I think it's going to be Winston. Think about Winston. Winston's going through ACL recovery, and the last thing Winston wants to do is go to a new team, learn a new system. He wants to focus on his recovery. That's the one thing he wants to focus on. So you can bet that Winston will be the next domino to drop. I've said that from the beginning. The moment the Saints are out, they will sign Jameis Winston. That's a fact. That's not a fact, but it's what my opinion. Oh, here he is. Here it is. Here we go. I don't know if anything's official, but this was right. Writing was on the wall. It's so easy to see this coming. Nobody was talking about Winston either, and he was just waiting patiently. After today's trade, free agent Jameis Winston now is expected to play for the New Orleans Saints per sources. That was easy to tell. Writing was on the wall. So there you go. There you go. BW says, breathe, Smitty. I don't need to breathe, bro. I don't need to breathe. It already dropped. Yep, just found it. Smitty, we are still going live, 7 p.m. Eastern. Absolutely. No going to lose Armstead now. They announced it. Yep, I saw it. Switzer is a punt returner. No. He I don't know how seriously they take him as a wide receiver. We'll find out, BW. We'll find out. Do you like Fuller in Cleveland? Yeah, Fuller could go to Cleveland. That would be, think about it. The ties to Deshaun Watson makes a lot of sense. Fuller is probably one of the best top options for Cleveland. And you can bet that Watson wants some familiar faces on the roster. So very, very easy to see that one happening. So yeah, Fuller for sure. We should have mentioned him already because that's a very obvious one. But yes, you were correct. Michael Thomas, top 5 wide receiver, if healthy? No, not in my mind. I don't even consider Michael Thomas on my board. Like, would I draft Thomas at a certain point? Absolutely. But am I drafting Thomas where his ADP is kind of lingering? No. Like, top 5? No. I don't think so. Like, especially, given that we don't know what Winston's going to look like, I'm not touching Mike Thomas. Like, we went through this dance last year, and I told everyone to stay away from Michael Thomas because you had not heard anything about his surgery. And everybody jumped in to the Michael Thomas situation, drafting him, expecting him to be healthy, and we found out that it wasn't going to work out. Michael Thomas smells like disappointment at this point. And until he proves otherwise, you got to be careful and tread lightly when you go in the direction of Michael Thomas, because Michael Thomas has to prove that he's healthy. He doesn't get the benefit of the doubt at this point to where you just draft him and hope. He's got to prove it. He's got the proving to do. You don't. Don't draft Michael Thomas anywhere near top 5 or top 10 wide receiver. He's not a wide receiver 1 until he proves otherwise. And with Jameis Winston, who I think is a decent option, he's not an amazing quarterback. He's very injury prone. And I don't know how I feel about Watson in this situation. Adams, top 5 wide receiver this year. I don't think so, Swaggy. I think he could be that good in a Raider uniform potentially, but my guess is that it's not a knock on Adams necessarily. It's just that he won't get the volume he got, the laser-locked, force-fed targets he got from Aaron Rodgers. Look, he played with Carr in college. They're best buddies. I get that. The rapport is probably there, but we don't know what Adams looks like without Aaron Rodgers. Adams has never been Adams without Aaron Rodgers. He was not the same player in college. He was not the same player pre-Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, while Adams will leave Green Bay with the receiver skills that he's acquired and become, he is a top 5 talent. He's a top 5 wide receiver talent, athletically, route running, all of that. But Aaron Rodgers helped make that. Without Aaron Rodgers, Adams would not be who he is. It doesn't matter. Like, you can argue he's so good. I get that. He is. He is what he is right now. But without Aaron Rodgers, he would never have been a top 5 wide receiver. Aaron Rodgers makes top 5 Aaron Rodgers makes and crafts top 10 wide receiver talents. He's done it time and time and time again. It is what it is now. Adams doesn't get devalued talent-wise, but Aaron Rodgers force feeds wide receivers. There's a reason Adams was so productive. It's kind of like Big Ben back in the day with Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown with Big Ben was number one. He was the number one fantasy football wide receiver with Big Ben. You took Big Ben away, Antonio Brown, whenever Big Ben got hurt, Antonio Brown wouldn't even be a wide receiver one. And I'm not saying Antonio Brown didn't have the talent, but it was a special relationship between the two. And when he was given mediocre quarterback play, when Big Ben would go down, he couldn't do it by himself. Aaron Rodgers force feeds Devontae Adams. I don't know that Derek Carr is going to have enough touchdown production. You're talking about like 21 to 27 touchdowns. Granted, Adams probably makes him reach the higher end of that level of touchdown production, but you're talking about a 21 to 27 touchdown producer versus a 38 to 44 touchdown thrower. So it's a completely different thing. Carr could throw as many yards, but he's not going to throw for as many touchdowns. It's hard to imagine Adams breaching the top 5. Not a knock on him. His situation will limit him a little bit. And it's more about the wide receivers in the top 5. It's more about Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, Deebo Samuel, CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown. You're talking about if Waddle's going to have that big year, CeeDee Lamb's probably taking a big step forward, and there's just a lot of mouths to feed in a situation that's probably going to produce under 30 passing touchdowns. Waller will be healthy. Like, people have some high expectations for Adams if they think he's top 5 coming into this situation. Is it possible? Yeah, but would I draft him or expect top 5? I would not. Let's see. Look at the chat. Haha, much going on down. I know. I'm trying, clan. There's literally 333 people in here typing, clan. I'm doing my best, bro. I don't know what you're trying to say. Stop what? Stop what? Stop what? Stop talking about Adams? Like, what are you saying stop to? I'm not saying anything about the Rams. Honestly, if D-Hop news was true, Browns would be crazy. The Brown. Yeah, let me look. Sorry, I'm going on a rant, bro. League investigation going. Okay, so here's this thing. We need to look at this. This is what I was talking about. Your boy Smitty was trying to give you guys all this information, and there is news breaking. But this is what I was talking about earlier. A lot of people say Watson won't get suspended. Watson won't be. This is what's coming out right now. Any transaction would have no effect on the NFL ongoing comprehensive investigation of the serious allegations against Deshaun Watson, nor would it affect his status under the collective bargaining agreement and personal conduct policy. If the league's investigation determines that Watson violated personal conduct policy, discipline may be imposed pursuant to the policy and the CBA. This is what I was talking about. And so many people come at me and say, Smitty, he's not going to be suspended. He got off on the criminal stuff. Stop talking about it. Like, no, he violated the league personal conduct policy. What I've been saying from the beginning is 2022 could potentially be a wasted year wherever he lands, because what if he misses 4 to 6 games? What if he's out half of a season? Deshaun Watson could very well miss 4 to 6 games at a minimum based on violating the personal conduct policy with his behavior, whether it was consensual or not, which is what his argument is. People think that he's saying he did nothing, did none of this, that it was all made up. It's not all made up. The argument between the potential victims and Deshaun was the consensual part of it all. He still put the NFL in very bad light, which is why the NFL is coming out and saying this immediately to make sure everybody knows. Smitty, Watson's 2022 base salary is $1 million. They're expecting him to get suspended. Salary loss comes from that number. Good point, Cliff. I haven't looked at the breakdown of the deal, but like I've been saying from the beginning, 4 to 6 games. Potential wasted year for whoever drafts Deshaun or whoever trades for Deshaun Watson. People didn't want to listen to me when I'm saying it. Like it is what it is. Kyle says, Smitty, my guy, Carr is gonna have 40 TD season, dog. Okay, we'll see, pal. Freaking out at that super chat. What super chat? I gotta find it. Let's see here. Brandon, Cards trade Hopkins to the Browns. Not seeing it. Is this fake news? Are you trying to pull fake news, bro? You can't drop fake news in the channel, bro. Don't do it. Now official, Green Bay Packers have traded wide receiver Devontae Adams to the Raiders. That's official. Deshaun Watson's 5-year, $230 million deal. There's nothing about Deshaun Watson or about Hopkins. So please don't spread fake news. I appreciate your super chat, but we definitely don't like that on the channel, spreading the fake news. But I appreciate your super chat. You are the man. I appreciate you. Just make sure. I think you're just predicting it too. I don't think you're trying to spread rumors anyway. But what is now thought to be the final compensation in today's trade? Browns get Deshaun Watson and a 5th round pick. Okay. That's okay, Brandon. It was funny, so it's cool. And you super chatted, Brandon, so I'm not going to get that mad at you when you super chat a fake news. There's a difference between dropping fake news and trolling and super chatting and trolling. Big difference. Just try to scare you, Smitty. Okay. Well, you keep super chatting and you can drop whatever you want, I suppose. Thank you, Brandon. Texans get 3 first-round picks, which I told everyone. There was a lot of people, especially in Twitter spaces. I go in these spaces and people be talking about a player and 2 first-rounders. The Texans made it very clear. If you don't bring 3 first-rounders to the table, you cannot have conversations with us. We won't even entertain. Like, you're gone. You're out of the discussion. You want a low ball? You're not getting involved. They said 3 first-rounders was the bare minimum, and players or picks on top of 3 first-rounders. That was guaranteed. The Texans aren't messing around. This isn't Doug O'Brien. Or Bill O'Brien. Doug O'Brien. This isn't Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien sucked. And gave away Hopkins for a ham sandwich. 3 first-round picks, a 3rd-round pick, and a 4th-round pick. That is a haul. But it's worth it. They get a 5th-round pick back, which is nice. That they get at least a player, right? This was worth it. The deal was absolutely worth it. 100%. You know who should deactivate their Twitter is that guy that broke the news that he was going to the Falcons last night. That got everybody going crazy. That guy should deactivate his Twitter. 3 first-rounders is what Seattle should have gotten. 3 first-rounders is what but they could have maybe. Russell Wilson's talented. Like, I don't know if I'd rather have Russell Wilson over. I'd probably rather have Russell Wilson over Watson if I was a certain team like Denver. And especially given, like, you guys got to keep in mind, Watson could be suspended. So, like, Wilson's better. You know what I'm saying? Like, Wilson's better if you want to win now. Susan says, F them picks. Yeah, if you can get Watson, get Watson. Oh, the dude deactivated. Kyle, the guy, what's his name? The guy deactivated his Twitter. I bet he got blasted, bro. And there was another. It was Albright. I think the guy that debunked his tweet said that he said that Watson would not go to the Browns and he'd donate he'd give $1,000 to a charity, which is good, cool of him. That Watson's not going to the Browns. Like, it's not going to happen. The same guy that debunked him said that. So now this is crazy, man. Smoke season. Everybody wants to claim they know something. That's what we're at, where we're at. Like, look, I don't claim I know something. I make a prediction. Okay, I'm different. I'm like a talking head. I'm not a news breaker. I'm a news analyzer. I'm a reaction specialist. I'm here to break down why I think this is going to happen or that's going to happen. Now, do I hear things sooner than the average bear? Sometimes. But let's be honest. Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport, it pretty much all goes through them. Somebody may break something 2 minutes before they do, and then they retweet it to confirm it for us. But let's get real. These Atlanta, I've been talking for an hour and a half. These Atlanta beat writers or everybody wants to make their career on some stupid assumption that they know or have heard something more. No one's heard more or has an inkling or a little bit of a little birdie whispering in their ear. I was in a Twitter Spaces right before this, or while this news broke, and I left the Twitter Spaces to come over here and go live. And there is a guy in there talking about how he had on good authority that it was already being done, or that there was a player or two already involved. I mean, talked about in the trade. It's like no one knows. Like, I appreciate people's attempt to try and make news and get clicks and views, but I don't worry about that. I'm not here to try and be the first one to break something. You'll rarely ever break something yourself in this industry. I've been doing this 20 years professionally, and somebody tells somebody something. If you focus on trying to be the one to break the news, you're going to either get burned like this kid did that said that Watson was traded, it was done. He threw mud at the wall because the Falcons felt like the front runner, and there was buzz that news would break that night. Threw mud at the wall, it didn't stick, and now look at him, okay? I'm not here to do that. I'm here to react. I'm here. You don't come here saying, oh, Smitty's going to break the news. You're coming here because Smitty's going to talk about it and analyze it 1.5 minutes after it breaks. That's why you're here. That's why I'm here. That's why I work for you. Like, 2 minutes late's fine. There's nothing wrong with being 2 minutes late. What matters is how you get your interpretation and breakdown of the big news. Like, that's what I do. I'm a talking head, in a sense. I'm a analyst, and I might have my predictions. I break down, okay, this is why the Falcons make sense. This is why the Browns make sense or don't make sense. This is why the Saints make sense or don't make sense. And that's the bottom line. Like, that's why we're here. These people that try and break the news when they don't really have anything, and they're throwing a lucky dart, and they think it's going to make them. Even if Watson went to the Falcons, that guy wouldn't have got anything out of that. He grew in Twitter followers by like 2,000, but what's that going to get him? Now look at him. He deactivates his Twitter because he's getting blasted because he was wrong. It's not the way to go about it. If you're not first, you're last. Ricky Bobby, according to Jordan, that's actually correct, and that's fine. I'll be last, and then I'll break it down right. I'll break it down first. I'll be last and break it down best. How's that? Did you see AB's tweet? No, let's go look at AB's tweet. I'm interested. You've got me intrigued. AB, Antonio Brown. Whole lot of money. AB's tweet. AB in Cleveland would be pretty good. What did AB say? Take the Browns to Super Bowl, not toilet bowl. Cleveland, Antonio Browns. Look. I mean, they're bringing in, like, I'm not trying to throw any shade on Watson by saying this, but they're already taking Watson, who's got some drama around him, right? What's the big deal? Bring AB in. AB, Watson. I mean, why not? I mean, he may end up leaving halfway through the season. He may get upset and just bail. But that's fine. Take what you can get. 11 games. Maybe he plays a season and a half. And then he bails on you and manipulates his way out. Who cares? Bring AB in. AB and Amari Cooper. Chubb, Hunt, defense. You're talking about a top 8 team in the NFL guaranteed. And then what can they do? Will Watson miss the 4 to 6 games? Who knows? But AB to Watson and Cooper has a nice little ring to it. And Cleveland's already taken on the drama that comes with Deshaun Watson. We just talked about it right here. Where is it? We just talked about it right here. That the league, as I said, and people didn't want to believe me. They thought, oh, he avoided the criminal charges. He's not going to get in trouble anymore. In terms of the NFL suspending him. No, the NFL came immediately out and said, look, we're still investigating it. He probably 100%, actually, in my mind, violated in their mind the personal conduct policy. Could the NFL look at it like time served? You know, in a sense, like the Browns sat him for a whole year. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe they do look at that and they just say nothing's going to be pursued. Who knows? Anything can happen. But it's very likely that Deshaun Watson misses 4 to 6 games. So, I don't know. Bringing AB in, they may need him. They may not. We don't know what the record's going to be by the time Watson gets back, if he is suspended in 2022 for the first part of the year. But if they're like 2-3, or they're 3-3, or whatever, and they can bring AB in to try and like make that run. Will Fuller, AB, probably the top 2 potential candidates to land in a Cleveland Brown uniform post Deshaun Watson trade to Cleveland. It just makes sense. Will Fuller, it makes sense. AB, it kind of makes sense. I do see potentially Fuller or AB, maybe both, in Cleveland in 2022. It just makes sense. How good is Watson going to be behind a better O-line? Look, this O-line will be even better than expected given Watson's mobility and how it spreads out the defense. So I think that the offensive line, they'll work on things too, but it's going to be actually a very, very productive offense and offensive line. AB is mental, Smitty. Aaron, no one's debating that. Like, that's, the sky's blue sometimes, Aaron. AB's mental at times, Aaron. It is what it is. There are rings around Uranus, Aaron. There are rings around Saturn, Aaron. These things happen. AB must have the record for jersey swap photos. Probably, bro. Probably. My team's turning into a circus, shaking my head until Stefanski gives up the playbook. Don't expect a good offense, says Cameron. Will other moves happen today since this finalized? I think so. I think that a lot of players, not just offensive skill position players, a lot of players were waiting to see where Deshaun was going because he might bring in a lot of talent, believe it or not. He might bring in a lot of talent. AB needs to go into the WWF. Definitely could. Blunt's laughing. Kraft violated the policy and didn't get a suspension. True. AB is that dude, says Swaggy. Turning into one, what are we talking about here? WWF person? What does this do for my Houston Texans? You're in rebuild mode. You're looking for, draft pick values to go up for this year. You don't want to bring in a quarterback. You want to roll with Mills, see if Mills is the real deal, and if he's not, then improve draft capital anyway by tanking for a year. Texans aren't in the business of trying to turn this around in one season. You guys are in blow up and rebuild mode, and rightly so. Like, what are you going to do? You bring in let's say you brought in a Baker, you brought in a Winston, or like, why? For what? Just go with Mills, see if Mills is the real deal. Mills showed some promise at the end of the year. Let's not pretend that Mills can't be a good quarterback. Maybe he emerges. He looked pretty good. And if he's not, then you improve your draft stock and draft capital. So the Texans are just in hibernation mode, acquiring and accumulating draft picks, and you're going to try and build a team. What are your thoughts on Hunt? I like Hunt. I do. I think this offense is going to be very productive. And so if Chubb goes down, Chubb's got a real high likelihood of getting hurt. Real high. Like, Chubb's got maybe 1 to 2 years left, in my opinion, before he either plays more seasons hampered and missing tons of games at a time, or he falls off drastically like Todd Gurley did, because Chubb had one of the most gruesome knee injuries in the history of college football. In the history of football, period. He had the most gruesome knee injury I've ever seen. Literally, your knee bends one way. His knee literally bent L-shaped the other way. And there's going to be long-term effects to that, potential knee degeneration, issues and arthritis and things like that. And Gurley just all of a sudden stopped working. His knees stopped working the same, and that's kind of what I feel like is going to happen to Chubb, especially given he does a lot of his grunt work in between the tackles. So Hunt could be very valuable if Chubb goes down. Chubb is very, very injury prone. If Chubb gets hurt, Hunt's going to thrive. And it's going to be different. Like, Hunt has gone in there, and Hunt hasn't produced like we've wanted him to when he started, right? We've all been like, okay, Hunt's in there, and it seems like he does better when Chubb's on the field. This is going to all be different with Watson moving the offense down the field. You're going to be in field goal range and scoring position in the red zone and the goal line way more. So this team's going to score a lot more points. You're going to have a lot more ball control potential. And Hunt, in this offense led and commanded by Deshaun Watson, it's going to look a lot different than with Baker. So I think Hunt, if he was starting by himself, if Chubb were to go down, God forbid, knock on wood for all of you Chubb supporters out there, if Chubb were to go down, I think you'd see a different Kareem Hunt than you were seeing when he was starting by himself in years past in Cleveland. So get excited for that duo. Hunt's certainly going to have a decent year. Chubb will have a monster year in 2022 if he stays healthy. Again, 1 to 2 more years for Chubb, though, if he has a big, huge monster year 2022, especially if Watson's out the first 4 to 6 games and they lean on the run, then Chubb will be a guy you'll want to trade at the end or very near the end, maybe even before the offseason, because I think people will start thinking about his decline when you hit the offseason. But if you were able to trade him and get a crafty player you like better than Chubb mid-season or while Chubb's blowing up, then I think it's a smart move because Chubb has a very short window of time where he's going to be an elite player. It's very short. I know people don't like to hear that. People like to fight back on it. People like to get angry if the Browns are your team or you're a Nick Chubb dynasty owner. You have nothing but a reason to go at me for that. And I get it, but I don't care. Like, thick skin, I don't care what people say about that. Chubb does not have a long time. He doesn't. He just doesn't. He's a very injury-prone player that's getting overworked between the tackles, very different than Alvin Kamara, who might have 2 years left or 2.5 years left, not 3. Kamara's got 2 to 2.5 years left at an elite level if he stays healthy, and he's very injury-prone. And he might miss half of a season getting suspended in 2022. Just know that. But Chubb's got the 1 to 2 years left. And I'm selling him in Dynasty at all. And you probably can't even sell him that high in Dynasty. People know the decline's coming. Lovey may be the coach who finally turns the Texans around. I don't know about that, Cliff, but maybe. What does Baltimore need for their offense to thrive? They need Lamar to be consistent. Everybody's so quick to support Lamar, and I don't really know why. Like, he struggled the year prior to last year for half of an entire season. And he didn't look good at times last year and was inconsistent and then got hurt. And he runs 150 times a season. So getting hurt is kind of par for the course, I think, moving forward for Lamar. I'm not saying Lamar misses 10 games every year right now, but I think Lamar running the ball is required for him to be productive and for the Ravens to do well. So you can't dial back his running. If you dial back Lamar's running, he becomes one-dimensional and he's easier to figure out and he struggles. Lamar needs to be Lamar. He needs to be running free or he doesn't play the same. Every time they try to dial back his running, he can't do it because it's awkward for him. But every time he overruns, then you have the risk of injury. So Lamar's a concern for me. Honestly, a total avoid for 2022 and beyond for me because there are safer options. I'm not saying he can't squeak out 1 or 2 more years and I'm wrong and I'm early to the Lamar Jackson decline party. I might be early. I get it. I understand it. I accept the risk of maybe Lamar blowing up in 2022. It's not going to even make me feel bad because I'm drafting other quarterbacks that I like just as much at a safer value. I don't lose any sleep if Lamar proves me wrong, quote unquote, proves me wrong. I lose 0 sleep over that. I don't care. I'm avoiding a risk I see sitting in front of me that feels like it's a risk worth avoiding. Chubb has zero issues with a knee over 4 years. He is built like an AP. He's had knee injuries every single season, bro. Lamar is similar to RG3, says Cliff. I think the decline will be quick for Lamar when it starts. Am I a year early? Maybe. Am I 2 years early? I could be. But I'd rather avoid him with safer options. I'd rather go get a Trey Lance than Lamar because I can get him cheaper. What's my take on Denver skill players with Wilson in town? I think Javonte Williams could be arguably the number 2. He could have a cup of coffee with the number 1 running back spot all year long. I think JT deserves that. JT commands that. But I do believe Javonte will dance with the 1.1 value at times. I'm not too worried about Gordon. Do I want Gordon gone? I'm with you. I don't want the drama, but am I actually worried too much about Gordon? Not really, because if they let Gordon go, they bring someone else in. There's always a backup. And granted, Gordon might secure more carries than some unknown rookie that doesn't know the offense. I get that. But there's something to the Denver Broncos being smart with Javonte last year. They had nothing to play for. Everybody took it like, oh, Javonte's not believed in. They won't use him. And I was mad too. I was frustrated from a fantasy perspective. But the bottom line is they were smart to not run this man into the ground unnecessarily in a year where it didn't matter. It was a nothing year. So I think they fully unleash him in 2022. Call it on Lamar. Your fans will thank you. Smitty, I need your hat. I appreciate that. Do Packers become the Browns and sign Odell and Jarvis? Maybe. I think Landry could end up in Denver. I said that last night. I'm sorry, could end up in Green Bay. I said that last night. Very, very possible. As soon as I saw Washington take Wentz and the Steelers take Mitchell, I knew Jimmy would not be traded yet. Jimmy's not. Guys, no one wants Jimmy. No one wants Jimmy G. He's not a starting quarterback in the NFL. Whether he gets a job or not, he's not. He's not a starting quarterback in the NFL. A team might think he is, and a team might. All it takes is one team. Doesn't make him right. It doesn't make Shanahan right for playing Jimmy G over Trey. I hear that all the time. Oh, there's something must be wrong with Trey. They must not feel he's ready. I don't care what Shanahan decided to do. Shanahan botches quarterback decision making all the time. He's done it his whole career. He passed on Mahomes. He passed on Watson. He loves Kirk Cousins more than any quarterback in the NFL and would trade for Kirk Cousins in a heartbeat if his contract would allow it. This man is great at schemes. He's great at play calling, but he does not make good quarterback decisions. Sitting Trey Lance on the bench all year last year when Jimmy G is not even an average quarterback, and he held the offense back entirely, and he literally was carried in this whole argument that Jimmy G is a winner because he has wins attached to his name. That's because he plays for a team that carries him week in and week out. Trey Lance would have won just as many games starting week 1. Trey Lance would have won potentially that Rams game even if you threw him in last second, because the whole game plan was to make Jimmy G beat the Rams, and they knew Jimmy G couldn't. And Shanahan did nothing to alter his game plan, even though he knew the game plan against him was to let Jimmy G try and win the game. Jimmy G can't win the game. Jimmy G can't do that. Every one of Jimmy G's amazing long touchdown throws are like 4-yard slants to Debo, or a catch in the backfield where Debo takes it 80 yards. Everyone needs to calm down. Calm down on this. Jimmy G needs to play somewhere. It's absolutely head scratching the support Jimmy G has because he played for a team that won. He played for a team that won. He didn't command a team into wins. He didn't. Falcons or Saints? Falcons or Saints? Falcons or Saints? What's this mean, Sonny? I mean, neither one. Now, neither one has Watson. They're not relevant right now, in my opinion, as to being a really, really good team in 2022. You've got Kamara likely out half of a year. You've got Winston recovering from ACL surgery and potentially the main quarterback in New Orleans. It doesn't feel like it's going to be the same as if they got Watson. It's not even close. Jordan says the Super Bowl runs through the Bucs, Rams, and the AFC. Brady has never had an easier opportunity at another Super Bowl, Jordan says. Well, Jordan, I disagree. I understand your point, Jordan, and I know what you're saying. I got it on the board here. I think very, very strongly that we're looking at We're looking at the San Francisco 49ers under the command of Trey Lance being a much tougher opponent than you're considering. The Rams have to be considered a very, very tough opponent. Obviously, like you said, the Bucs, Brady being back. Green Bay is going to be a tough opponent to a point, but they're not going to go deep in the playoffs because without Adams, they're going to struggle. But they probably will bring in a Landry. They'll probably be sufficient. They'll still be a 10-plus win team probably. They have an easy path to the playoffs. They're capable of winning any game against you. So this isn't an easy team, but they're certainly no longer a Super Bowl contender in my opinion. Dallas is always going to be tough for 1 or 2 games. They can make the playoffs. They can be one of the best offenses in the league, but they'll crumble because they can't win 2 or 3 games in a row in the playoffs, but they're still tough. The Cardinals, it all depends on Kyler Murray. The Cardinals may be garbage. They may have Kyler Murray turn a page and get back on track, turn a 180-degree, turn back in the other direction, come back to the Cardinals, get into the fold, and impress me. And impress me, Kyler. I challenge you, because I will root for you if you turn your attitude around and you stop crying and complaining, and you play on the field, and Hopkins gets healthy, and the Cardinals look like the team they looked like in the first half of the season. I'm not expecting it because I have this like down at the bottom here. But the Rams, the Niners, the Bucs, the Packers, not the toughest conference, obviously, of the two. But it's it's not easy. It's not a cakewalk. But I agree with you that Brady partially came back, I think, because he felt like it's not the toughest climb. Let's see, where is that? The board. The AFC is, you're right, out of control. Like, these teams is so much greater. The thing is, though, it's like the Bucs and the Niners are, I think, and the Rams are easily comparable to like 1 or 2 of these. Like, they could hang. It's just you got like 1 or 2 extras. So it does look overpowering. It's mainly the AFC West, obviously. It's the NFC West versus the AFC West. Like, that's the craziest thing people aren't looking at. This is the NFC West. This is the NFC West. This is the NFC West. And Seattle's out now. You have the NFC West versus the entire AFC West. Pretty much, and then you could put the Raiders in here. They're gonna fight. But it's the Bills, and then it's the Chargers, the Chiefs, and the Broncos. Like, this is the AFC West. It's crazy. It's crazy. The AFC, the West, AFC West and NFC West. So the West is the best in football. Like, they could take on the entire league. It's absolutely madness. The Raiders are going to put up a fight, but the Raiders might be 10, 11 wins and not make the playoffs. It's going to be absolute madness. The Raiders, it's going to be crazy. I feel bad for the Raiders because they literally they would be a top 4 team in the NFC, but they may not make the playoffs. It's absolutely crazy. They could, but they may not. They may not. Echo, sorry about the echo. What is Jordan Love's trade value? 0. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Watch Watson get suspended for half the season and blow his... Come on, we don't need to wish injury, but he could get suspended for half a season. Honestly, the Rams have Cup. A-Rob, Jefferson, and are trying to get Odell Beckham Jr. Don't worry about Odell for 2022, clan. Odell's not going to do anything for... I mean, maybe he comes back for a playoff run and does okay, but this guy's got a long road ahead of him. He tore his ACL. Essentially, it feels like last night. Like, he's got such a long road ahead of him. And as you get older and the more injuries you have, it's going to be harder for his body to stay healthy. So, like, even if he comes back and he starts trying to give it a full go earlier than he wants, because let's be honest, if he comes back even during the playoffs, he's coming back a little early, and if he starts going full go, his body's not going to hold up. Odell is probably not going to stay healthy for the rest of his career. It's just the way it is. Chubb has to be top 5. Now, for 2022, I don't disagree that he could be top 5. I just think he's going to have a short run here, 1 to 2 more years, and he's going to start having a lot of injuries. But yeah, he definitely could be a top 5 running back this season. What are the Saints going to do now? They're going to go for Winston. It's already being talked about, is what I talked about days ago, that if Watson doesn't work out, they're immediately going to plan B. You haven't heard anything about Winston because Winston is going back to the Saints. That's where he's been hoping to go. Honestly just thinking playoffs, but you're saying that it does make agree with not drafting him for fantasy. Okay. Can't trust Chubb. I do think he's a very big injury risk. NFC West plays the AFC West. Absolutely, Sonny. It's going to be a battle of the West in the playoffs, in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl. Definitely. Mayfield to the Colts. I think that's probably the most likely, although the Colts are probably looking for no drama, so it might detour them away. I think Baker to Seattle, I could see that potentially if the Colts don't want him, but I think the Colts will probably be the top dogs to get him. Carlos Dunlap released by the Seahawks. Packers have traded wide receiver. That's official. Devontae Adams. Fletcher Cox heads back to the Eagles. And again, this most recent news relating to Deshaun Watson is that the league is definitely still looking into whether he's going to get suspended for violating the personal conduct policy. Not to mention they're still doing the investigation in general. Not just about that, but in general to everything that's going on. Matt Ryan is staying in Atlanta, which has got to be kind of a downer for Falcons fans who were so excited. I was in a Spaces when this broke, and then I jumped on the live like 2 minutes after I set up and went live. I was in a Falcons or Watson, what's going to happen with Watson Spaces on Twitter when it broke, and I just bailed. I'm like, gotta go! And I went live. You can trust Chubb with Watson. We can for 1 year, but he's very, very much an injury risk. Jimmy to the couch. Maybe. I hope the Niners don't keep him Niner by nature. We've been saying it on the quad box as possible, and people keep arguing with us, but Shanahan's capable of keeping Jimmy G. Unfortunately, it's stupid. It's ridiculous. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. Pulverize it. If you're new, raise your hand if you're new in the chat. Put a thumbs up or whatever. Just let me know if you're new. And I really want to ask you to hit the subscribe button, not just try and find the channel later. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications, because I do emergency live streams the moment news breaks. I literally, within 1 to 2 to 3 minutes of a big breaking news piece, I will literally jump live. How long have I been live right now? 1 hour and 52 minutes. I work for you. So please hit the thumbs up. We got a couple people saying that they're new. JH Gaming, appreciate you being here. Big Daddy, appreciate you being here. Subscribe, please. BFH, please subscribe if you're new. Alex is new. Pearson's new. Please hit that subscribe button, guys, so that you know when I go live. Lord Stanton, appreciate you being here. Niner by nature says we better freaking not keep Jimmy. It'll hurt Trey. It will hurt Trey. Woods too important to the Rams locker room, says JH Gaming. He's referring to some of the trade talk that's going on right now regarding Woods. There have been some teams since the Allen Robinson signing. There have been some teams that have called reportedly to see if Woods is available, and so what he's saying is that he's too valuable to the locker room, which could be the case. But I think the Rams will treat it like a business and listen. But I don't know that he'll go anywhere. Adam's new. Adam, please subscribe. Been following for a while, says Jorge. So you definitely are subscribed. So I appreciate you. Turn on those notifications. Make sure you are always alerted when I go live, because we do emergency live streams all the time. I'm even working on a sound and a song or a little intro that's emergency live stream alert. And so whenever I go live on an emergency live stream, you will know it's an emergency live stream, because I will have a countdown and an alarm system that goes off, and we'll be breaking down news that way moving forward. I just didn't have time to get it ready because I was working on it today, and then the news broke, and so I had to jump on here. This is absolutely craziness, man. I'm so excited about this move for fantasy football. I'm excited about this move for football. We still have to weather through the league looking into whether Watson's going to be suspended for 4 to 6 games, half a year, 2 games, not at all. We don't really know. We're speculating. Will Watson get suspended? You have to think he will, because this isn't like one situation where there was an accusation, he said, she said, he said, like the Dalvin Cook situation, like, which has not gone away, by the way. But Dalvin Cook situation, it's he said, she said, and it potentially could result into nothing. This right here is over 20 cases. Yes, they're now in civil. Nothing's criminal currently. That could change. Another person could bring... Look, 10 people brought criminal issues up and tried to bring criminal charges against them, a criminal complaint. The other 10 to 20, or the other 10 to 12, and other people that aren't necessarily have come forward yet, they still could. Like, there's still messiness to the situation. Like, let's not pretend the Watson troubles are behind him, but let's get excited for him. Let's hope it all works out. Innocent until proven guilty. Unfortunately, the NFL doesn't look at it like that. He did violate personal conduct policies by going outside of the team probably approved massage therapist and all that stuff. Even if it wasn't clear cut in writing that you can't go outside to massage therapist, the way he went about it and the light he put the NFL in is going to definitely cause the NFL to react so that this never happens again. Will it be 2 to 4 games? Will it be 4 to 6? Will it be longer? Will it be nothing? Will it be time served? Very hard to know. Hit that like button. 399 likes, says Terry. Breaking records today. Thank you, Terry. Breaking records here on the show. The most live stream likes we've ever had, 399. We had 1,020 people in here for a good 30 minutes when we were at the top of this whole thing. 400 likes. Appreciate it. Terry, good work, Terry. Watson is getting all the happy and come on, Pearson. Come on, Pearson. We made 400 likes, Smitty. Attaboy. Baker will tear it up in the XFL. That is probably optimistic, I would say, BFH. Probably a little bit optimistic, pal. I don't know about that. Big Daddy, thank you for subscribing. What's next? Oh, we got voicemails. I'm sorry, guys. We got voicemails. What am I doing?
Hey, Schmitty, this is ridiculous, but Amari Cooper to the moon, am I right?
I mean, Amari Cooper locking into the top 9 to 12? Yeah. Is he top 5? No. In my opinion.
Also, David Njoku to the moon?
Maybe if Njoku can stay healthy, he could be pretty good under Deshaun Watson's reign. Hyphy.
Does Atlanta still trade?
Wait, are you getting yelled? Are you getting yelled at? Hold on. Let's listen real closely to the beginning.
Does Atlanta still trade?
Is she yelling "why not" at you? Why not go on the show? She's saying, I think.
Does Atlanta still trade Matt Ryan? I mean, they were willing to just trade him. I'm pretty sure he's not happy with that. I don't know. He's been loyal to them, so this might mess up a lot for that still.
Yeah, that's probably the TV. I don't know. But Matt Ryan's staying. They extended him already. You probably heard that after you left that message, but they're extending him. They could still trade him. It'd be difficult to trade him the way that they're kicking the can down the road in terms of his contract and giving him the bonus, the $7 million signing bonus. It's really to move money from the contract up front, and that creates cap problems. So if you're going to try and move Matt Ryan, you're essentially moving more of a cap hit to the team that gets him. But a team like the Colts might still be interested. Don't be shocked if Matt Ryan still gets moved. It's not as likely, because they advanced on executing that extension, which brings $7.5 million, I think, forward, and it just makes him have more of a cap hit. So the Colts are the one team that don't care about that. They have a lot of cap, and they don't care about wasting the 2022 cap. They want to win. So could the Colts, who may have been involved in trade talks because the Falcons had to have somewhere to send Matt Ryan in order to execute the Watson deal, and Watson hung around to make sure that deal could get done because he was waiting. It was reportedly waiting between the Saints and the Falcons, but the Browns came in and said $230 million guaranteed. And Watson said, done, absolutely done. And I would too. And so would you. So would you. You do it for money for $250 million guaranteed. I'm sorry. And it's not that bad of a situation. It's not like he's settling. He's going to a pretty decent landing spot.
Wow, Smitty, craziest offseason in NFL history, at least that I can remember. Insane. Obviously, Amari Cooper now is much more highly looked upon, but are there any other pass catchers specifically in the Browns offense that you think maybe we should look at now?
Peoples-Jones, as I mentioned earlier, I think Kareem Hunt could be ultra involved from a like dual running back perspective, not just Chubb and Hunt separately, but on the field at the same time, using Hunt as a pass catching back. If they're smart, they'll do that. Because I think if they utilize both of them at the same time, even on the field at the same time, that could help the Browns kind of hold a second solid pass-catching option on the roster without having to go get somebody. But they still may go get somebody. They still might go get a Will Fuller, who has connections to Watson, obviously, from his Texan days. So Will Fuller could come in. But Peoples-Jones I like a lot. I like Peoples-Jones. He's had trouble staying healthy, but he's still very young, so we can't really coin him as an injury-prone guy. I think Peoples-Jones could be a really, really good player. He could do Will Fuller-type stuff, numbers-wise, if he stays healthy. If they bring in another wide receiver, that could complicate that potential prediction, but Njoku could be interesting. There's a lot of weapons here, and we've seen Watson do a lot with a little, so, Watson could be fine without adding anybody. I want to hear this getting yelled at again. Why not? Why not?
Does Atlanta still trade?
Hyphy's at the TV.
Hey, Smitty, it's Tariq. Happy Friday. What a crazy, crazy day in the NFL and just the offseason in general. With Deshaun going to the Browns, is this going to take an effect on Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb's fantasy value from the running back perspective, being that they use a lot of running?
Yeah, so good question. We haven't really talked about that. Vulturing, I think, is what Tariq's saying. Vulturing touchdowns. Yeah, but here's where I'll say maybe not. I think that the Browns didn't get in scoring position as often as the team could get in with Watson. Like, Watson's going to get this Browns team in scoring position, in goal line looks, living in the red zone more frequently. So I think any kind of vulturing that Watson could partake in will be be balanced by and offset by the fact that Hunt and Chubb will be in scoring position more often. So I think it's going to be a wash. I don't think Watson necessarily gets them more touchdowns. Maybe he does. Maybe a little bit. But I think whatever you lose in vulture touchdowns, we'll say it that way. You easily get back maybe a little more in opportunities for both Hunt and Chubb. But it's a great question because there's vulturing. Juju to KC in the chat. I see that. Those are the voicemails for now. Look, God, we're already an hour away from the 7 p.m. show. At this point, it's like, I don't even know if we should we'll probably take an hour break, come back, and I'll go live again. But everybody here needs to be back. Same bat time as usual, same bat channel. We're live at 7 p.m. Eastern every single Monday through Friday. So if you are here right now and you are new, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you know that I'm going live at 7 p.m. Eastern here in about an hour and 5 minutes. I'm tempted to just stay live. For the next 2 hours. We've been live for 2 hours and 2 minutes already. What's another 2 hours? But I think maybe we should just regroup. I should get something to eat. I'm a little hangry. And I think it wouldn't be a bad idea for me to cook some grub right now. Have some eggs and bacon. Sound about right. So I might go do that. But everybody, who's reporting back here at 7 p.m. Eastern in exactly 1 hour and 5 minutes? Raise your hand. Smitty, I'm impressed. You've been talking. Let me get this on screen. It's too small over there. Smitty, I'm impressed. You have been talking for 2 hours. That would kill my throat. This is nothing, bro. This is light work. We do 10-hour straight live streams, but I appreciate you. But yeah, this is light work. Everybody report back in 1 hour and 4 minutes. We'll be live again. I'm sure there's going to be more news to break down, but I appreciate you all being here. What an amazing offseason. Best offseason I've ever been a part of in my 20 years of doing this professionally. And so be back in an hour later. Appreciate all you. Thank you, Terry. Thank you to everybody that's been dropping thumbs up and commenting. And again, please subscribe if you're new. You do not want to miss these emergency live streams that we have all the time. Be back in 1 hour. Appreciate you, BFH. Thank you, dude. Appreciate you, dude. And all you new people. Awesome to have you here. From Pearson to Blunt. Appreciate you, Blunt. To the usuals like Mealy. To Salvatore, new person here. New person here, I think. Clan, I think, is new. Appreciate you, Clan. And no one has to agree with me all the time. I don't care if some of you had a little bit of pushback on what I thought might happen, or pushback on Nick Chubb or whatever. It's all good. If we respect each other, we can have disagreements here. This is what it's all about. Thank you, JD. Appreciate you. See you all in now 1 hour and 3 minutes. I'm taking away from my breakfast time because I won't stop